A Dandadan character tier list is by far the hardest tier list to do.
Jeez, would you get a grip?
The show is so complex. Nobody is black and white. Every individual character feels so incomplete without their little group dynamic. And the thing that makes it most difficult of all is that I like everyone. In shows generally, villains are evil, heroes are good, cool characters are just cool. But what do you really have when every villain has a likable side, every hero has a vain side, and everyone's equally susceptible to embarrassing moments? You have Dandadan. This has to be done. A Dandadan character tier list that will be accurate, only a bit biased, and maybe, just maybe, a little top heavy, but it will get done. D tier? Well, actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna explain what D tier even means. There's no one gonna be in there. Like I said before, this tier list may or may not be top heavy. C tier are for characters that I like and they're memorable, but they're not exactly in the show as much, so that's just for acknowledgement. The A and the B tier characters are the best characters in the whole show of Dandadan. You get hyped to see them on screen. These characters are so complex that it warrants a whole nother spin-off anime that could be made about them. And like I said, some of the best in the show. But S, oh, here we go. The S characters. Those characters are some of the best characters in anime in general. Dandadan or not. The S tier characters are the reason why you watch the show. They put butts in chairs and they sell the records. And don't be mad if I tier two characters at the same time. Some of these people just go together. Honestly, I just wanted an excuse to talk about these amazing characters we've met in this series. And just as a heads up, I'm told that I'm extremely opinionated, so I'm used to people disagreeing with me here and there. Let me have it in the comments below and let's get straight into this. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to The Breast Show, a place where we give our anime and gaming opinions while doing a little bit of animated and gaming ourselves. Now, I didn't know if a Dandadan character tier list would be a good idea because there's not exactly characters that I don't like, but I was just like, hey, who cares? I'll just be super strict with everybody I do put on the tier list. Hopefully by the end of this video, I can convince you to hit that subscribe button and that like button because it would really help the channel out a lot. And we'll go roughly in backwards order of how we actually met these characters, ending off with the main two after some honorable mentions. Starting off with my personal favorite, Gigi S. Immediately off the rip. Gigi is my favorite character, so this might be a bit biased. And trust me, I know some of these traits that I like the most about Gigi is what makes him one of the more controversial characters in the show, but he's so unpredictably hilarious that it's hard not to like him for me. You know how unhinged you have to be to immediately after finding out you get turned into a demon by cold water splashing on your face, and then you immediately break out into a Ranma 1/2 opening reference. Now I gotta watch Ranma 1/2. The best way I can explain why Gigi's character resonates so much with me is because of a little personal story I had. So bear with me real quick. So back in high school, I attended some leadership assembly conference that was being held at my school. And not gonna lie, I was known for joking around in my class or whatnot, but that's neither here nor there. I was taking this seriously. I felt like I could be the president of the United States or something. But then the instructors that were there told us to choose a few people and write their best quality on a little slip of paper and just hand it to them. And at first, I was hyped. I was getting hella slips of paper. All these people must have had great things to say about me. And then I started reading what people actually wrote. Kyle, you're really funny. All right, bet, all right, I'm funny. All right, bet, okay, what's next? Kyle, you're hilarious. All right, bet. Somebody said the same thing last time, but all right. Kyle, you say the wildest stuff and make me bust out laughing every time we All right, damn. Is that all I am to y'all? I'm here trying to be the next Barack Obama and all you see is Eddie Murphy. I low-key felt bad that day. The fact about Gigi's character in Dandadan is yes, he came in as the highly energetic class clown with a lovable personality. But now, after the Evil Eye arc, there's nothing typical about him. It's almost like his whole character got doubly complicated, doubly important, double as intricate. And this is only the beginning of his story. And speaking of beginning of stories, he didn't start out in the beginning of this story. He came in the middle and kind of threw a wrench into Ken and Momo's whole love thing they had going on for just a few episodes. I've said this before, a lot of characters in Gigi's same position are put there to be hated by the audience, and he seemed to only capture people's hearts. He hasn't had as much time as everybody else, but what he has had, he's made it count. That is an S to me, brother. Gigi, you go out there and be everything that little high school Kyle couldn't be. Queen is barely a side character, and she's only in one scene, but I love that scene, so I just wanted to carve out a little bit of time to talk about her. Of course, I can't put her in A or S off of one scene. I'm gonna just put her at C to acknowledge her existence, but when she palmed that old janitor's head and then threw him in the corner and whipped him up, that scene had me laughing so hard. I watched it in a Japanese sub, and the Japanese voice actor let out a genuine scream when that whip hit the back of his head like that. Say it, I need it! Apparently, originally in the manga, the school nurse had a bat instead of a whip. I gotta read the manga now. So real quick, I'm gonna just slide in Queen SC. Alien Serpo is probably the worst main character in the show, and that is the reason why I love Dandadan so much. If he's the floor, you have a pretty high floor. Weirdly enough, he's the character with the most resolve in this show. Everything he does is for Chiquita. I think it's Chiquita. The first words we ever hear from him out of his mouth as he's squaring up with Ken and Ira in the school is Chiquita. Before we even heard of him, he just kept saying over and over again like he was a Pokemon. In a complicated world like Dandadan, the alien Serpo Peeny Weenie is one of the most simple people to please. He needs some milk for his son. His happy ending is just being a living dairy farm worker for him and his son. And I love that for him. I gotta give the alien Serpo a B. Sorry, I'm not gonna call you Peeny Weenie more than once per video. And just like Gigi, for other reasons, Ira gotta be one of the more controversial characters as well. But if Gigi is the funniest, Ira's the close second to me. I was going to put her in A, but remembering that huge growth moment where she gave up the thing that she cared about the most, her popularity, for someone that she hated and still hates just because it was the right thing to do, yeah, you move up to S for that alone. She gave up all the popularity that she cared about the most and all the friends that, I don't know if she cared about, but all the friends she had, and she still doesn't have those friends. She's gone through the most change in this show while also staying the same. For example, when we first met her, she was emphasizing perfection and popularity, and then she grew to be a character that can sympathize with anyone, even if it's a ghost spirit. But the part that doesn't change is she still thinks Momo and Ken are demons, and is still the main character in her own reality show. She is bold, whether you like it or not, whether the situation calls for it or not. She will do and say the first thing that comes to her mind and will believe it to the end, and that's the hilarious part about it. It's almost like she's allergic to having a situation humble her outside of that one time where she revealed the truth to everybody in the school, and that just gives that one moment more power. And I think it's her boldness that makes Momo and her clash, because Momo is pretty forward herself. And considering everything that's happened, Momo still even trying to reach out and be friends with Ira says a lot more about Momo than it does Ira, but we'll get to Momo in time. Ira is a scene stealer, and for that, you get an S. It never changed. Turbo Granny, where do I begin? The story begins with Turbo Granny. If it weren't for Turbo Granny, Ken wouldn't have made a friend and Momo would have been abducted by alien. And it's weird to give her all of this credit considering her lewdness, but it's due. She just acts like an overall knowledge base now, and her and Ira have had some of the most change and growth throughout the whole show. Now, I'm not sure she wouldn't renege on that immediately after getting her powers back from Ken, but again, give credit to where credit is due. Turbo Granny kind of got turned into the show's pet of sorts, but I'm gonna tell you this right now, she has stiff competition with Chiquitita in season 2. And as a matter of fact, somebody check those merchandise sales for quarter 2. But as for Turbo Granny, I have to give her an A. And next up, I'm gonna tier K and Miko together, because I don't think we ever see them separate. I don't know why, but it seems surprising to me that Kei and Miko seem like actual genuine good friends for Momo. Even though this is a show with main characters, Dandadan finds a way to make everyone feel like a main character in their own respective shows. Kei and Miko definitely feel that way. Ira more in a comical way, but you get what I'm saying. But Kei and Miko aren't so self-centered that they don't support Momo. Let me give you some examples. When we were first introduced to them, they were warning Momo from the start about her shitty ex-boyfriend. They had Momo's back when the whole school turned on her from Ira's rumors. Kei and Miko had Momo's back when the whole school saw her naked, and they don't get in between her and Ken's relationship and even protects it in a way. letting Momo explore her feelings. I can't give them an A or an S because they're just not in the show enough, but they're ride or dies for Momo, so I had to give them at least a B. And next is Seiko. I was informed in my last video's comment section that I was pronouncing Seiko's name wrong. I was pronouncing it as Psycho, ironically enough, but thank you for correcting me. Always trying to get better. But Seiko is the backbone of this whole show. The bigger and bigger this Ken and Momo friendship tree gets, it really shows how selfless Seiko is. And I know selfless is a weird word to describe Seiko considering how much she enjoys a good compliment, but let me present my case real quick. She offers up her psychic services to the public. She trains Momo, she trains Manjiro, the BooTuber priest who we will get to later on in this video. She does everything needed to save Ken even though she just knows him as Momo's friend. Obviously, she's Momo's caretaker. She's willing to do whatever it takes and house Gigi and help him in his dire situation. And again, she only knows him as Momo's old friend. She helps Taro and Hana get together and maintain their whole relationship. She helps the Serpo alien even though she doesn't even believe that aliens exist. She saved the whole town outside of her magical district from a volcano attack. And afterwards, it's Seiko's place that serves as a home base for Ken, Momo, and whoever else attaches themselves to their friendship, or romance, I should say. And all she needs is to be flattered with compliments about being a young, beautiful genius. Yeah, Seiko has got to be one of the most selfless characters in the whole show. And like I said before, Seiko is the backbone of this whole thing. None of this would all work without Seiko's cooperativeness. Easy S for Seiko. And before we get to Ken and Momo, here are the honorable mentions. First up is Taro. People forget, it's Taro that inspired Ken to be more proactive in his pursuit of Momo. Taro is a minor character, but he is a useful one. And in the show's most overstimulating moments, it's usually Taro, the main one, adding to that. Whether it's jumping around the dinner table as a head looking for its body, screaming in agonizing pain as a singing baby sings a theme song over the intercom, while being Seiko's Silver Surfer, or just plain old booking it down the street with gold Christmas ornament in between your legs that looks similar to Ken's family jewels. And of course, just like most other characters in this show, he's plain old funny. And that story with Hana, meeting her in the middle of the night, but has a curfew of 10 p.m. in Seiko's backyard. Yeah, he's a B. He did enough for B to me. And the last honorable mention I got here is Manjiro. I feel like I can relate with Manjiro, the BooTuber priest, on an emotional level because I'm just trying to be a BooTuber too. We are just kind of getting introduced to Manjiro, but I've seen enough to know that I really like this guy. He don't really say much, but he's down with the cause. In the limited amount of time we've known him, we've seen him fight a mountain demon, again, which is one of the worst forms of demons in the Dandadan show, for a girl he just met. And then after that, removes himself from his home and starts performing rituals and doing all that other stuff. This guy is down with the cause. Manjiro is a B. And next up on the tier list, we're gonna talk about Ken. I don't think Ken grows and matures as much as he blossoms as a character. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how much he grows like emotionally or whatever, as much as it was he already had a hidden personality that he hid from the world, and now everyone can see it. As a matter of fact, let's tier Ken and Momo both together because they go together. But for real though, they bring out the best in each other. Ken brings out Momo's affectionate side, and Momo brings out Ken's whole personality. Their growth together is the root of this whole show, and it hasn't just been peaches and cream, all positivity. They argue, they catch each other in lies, they misunderstand, they fight. But whenever there's a problem going on outside of them two, they always fight together like nothing was ever wrong. And one of the earliest examples of that is in season 1 in the school scene where they were fighting amongst each other while fighting the aliens in the school. There is no Dandadan without Ken and Momo, and for real, Gigi and Ira wouldn't be friends if it weren't for them either. There is no Dandadan without Ken and Momo, for real. And to be honest with you, Ira and Gigi wouldn't be friends if Ken never went into that abandoned subway and Momo never tried to contact those aliens. The subtitle of this whole show is Opposites Attract, and there's no better example of that than Ken and Momo. And it's so easy to cheer for them. Whenever you see one of them in the scene, you find yourself looking around for the other one to just pop up. Easy S on a Dandadan character tier list, of course, but they're an easy S on any anime duo. They're an easy S on any duo in fiction ever. Would you be interested in a video about me explaining the deeper meaning of Dandadan? Or maybe a video about me trying Japanese style mochi for the first time ever on camera? Whatever it is, I got a lot of videos here on The Bread Show, and hopefully by this time I convince you to hit that subscribe button and the like button if you like the video. I love Dandadan. I'm going to continue watching this show. Thank you for being with me on this journey. There are more Dandadan videos to come. There's a free run video to come and more One Piece videos to come. I got a lot coming for y'all. And also give me some anime recommendations in the comments below. I'm starting on Gundam. I'm starting on JoJo's, slowly but surely. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Spread love, give inspiration in all you do, and peace out.
Welcome to the Crash Show. Take 2.